Good day, students. We are on another week of learning something new in science. For this week, we'll learn about the cell cycle. We are on our fourth quarter. We are on module number 2, week number 2. All right, so here are our objectives for this session. You are expected to explain the process and importance of cell division. Also, you compare mitosis and meiosis and their role in cell division, and you'll be explaining the significance of meiosis in maintaining the chromosome number. But before we start, let's have a short review of what you've learned when you were in grade 7. So here is a word bank, and all you have to do is to answer the items here by choosing the word from the box. Okay, so kindly pause this video, then later on come back once you are done and see if you got the answers correctly. Alright, time's up. So the answers are the following. Number 1, prokaryotes. Number 2, nucleus. Number 3, eukaryotes. And number 4, cell. Okay, so to further review what you've learned when you were in grade 7, here is a diagram of a cell showing the most important parts of it, or the major parts, such as the cytoplasm, the nucleus, the ribosomes, the cell membrane, and the nuclear membrane. Here is another simplified diagram that shows 3 basic parts of the cell: the nucleus, which is the control center of the cell; the cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like material found in the cell, and it is where organelles are suspended; and the cell membrane, which serves as the outer covering for protection of cells. Now, why am I giving you this? Kasi kapag ang cell ay nag-divide, yung nucleus nito nagde-divide, and it is followed by the division of its cytoplasm. Later on, you'll get to know more about cell division. Next up, we have phases of the cell cycle. So here is a diagram that will show you the different phases of the cell cycle. So when we say cell cycle, ito ay isang series of events that includes growth of the cell, DNA replication, and cell division. Okay? So the longest part of the cell cycle is known as the interphase, and it is the period in which the cell grows and undergoes DNA replication. Yung interphase ay merong tatlong parts or tatlong stages. Number 1, or the first stage, is G1, gap 1, or in some books, some references, you'll see growth 1, and it is where the cell actually grows. Then S phase is known as the synthesis. It is where DNA is copied, or the term is replication. And for gap 2, G2, or growth 2, the cell further prepares for division. Then yung M phase naman, look at the diagram on your left, the green one. M phase refers to the actual division of cell, which could either be mitosis or meiosis, which we'll talk further later. Then, cytokinesis is cytoplasmic division, or the division of the cytoplasm. Now, cells spend most of their lives in interphase, meaning they grow, they undergo replication, and all other activities of the cell happen during interphase. By the end of interphase, a cell has 2 sets of DNA, and this DNA are located in the chromosomes, and these chromosomes are found in the nucleus of the cell. Right? So once the cell has 2 sets of DNA and it's large enough, it could begin dividing. Now I have here another diagram of the cell cycle with the corresponding time it takes for a phase to complete. So a while ago I told you that cells spend majority of their time in the interphase. So let's see. In the interphase, we have here a total of, so it's 11 to 7 plus 3, so a total of 21 hours for the interphase. And look at the diagram. Mitosis or cell division here is just for 1 hour. So G1, again, what's G1? It's gap 1 or growth 1. It is when organelles double. Bakit madodouble yung mga organelles? When we say organelles, these are parts of the cell. Okay? So organelles have to be doubled because later on the cell will undergo division. Okay. So remember, each new cell needs a complete set of organelles. So kung ano yung meron sa original cell, yun din dapat yung mapupunta sa daughter cells. S is when DNA is replicated. Remember that each cell needs a complete and identical set of DNA. Then, G2, it is where proteins needed for cell division are produced. Okay, so let's talk about cell division. When we say cell division, basically it means a cell divides. But remember that there are several types of cells found in our body. So the two groups of cells in the body are the body cells or somatic cells, and we have the sex cells or the gametes. For cell division, it would include mitosis or meiosis. Kapag sinabi natin mitosis, this is when body cells or somatic cells undergo division. And when we say meiosis, yung sex cells, the sperm cell, and the egg cell naman ang mapoproduce. Alright? Now, mitosis would form two diploid daughter cells. Please remember the term diploid. And in mitosis, the number of chromosome remains constant in daughter cells. Ibig sabihin, sa tao, kung ang diploid number of chromosome is 46, kapag nag-divide na to para makabuo ng dalawang cells, yung dalawang cells ay meron ding ting 46 na chromosomes, and at the same time, these two cells are totally identical to the parent cell. Kapag meiosis naman, it is the formation of 4 haploid daughter cells. Bakit 4? Dalawang beses kasing magkakaroon ng division during meiosis. And remember this, in meiosis, the number of chromosomes become half in daughter cells. Okay, so ano ba yung diploid and haploid na yan? Alright, when we say haploid, it contains only one set of chromosomes. It is represented by the symbol N, small n. So, saan ang galing yung chromosome? Pwedeng sa parent lang, one parent, sa nanay or sa tatay. Okay? For diploid, it contains two sets of chromosomes, or 2N. Bakit? Half of it would come from the parent or from the male parent, and half of it would come from the female parent. Tapos kapag pinagsama, it would become diploid. Kaya 2N. Another, haploid cells are formed through meiosis. Okay? And diploid cells are formed by the process of mitosis. So, here are some examples of haploid cells. Haploid cells would include the gametes. Para mas madali, when we say gametes, these are the male and female sex cells, the egg cell, and the sperm cell. And for diploid cells, these are 4 somatic cells, or also known as body cells, such as blood, skin, and muscle cells. Let's talk more about the interface. Sabi ko kanina, interface is where the cell spends most of its time. So here is how a cell looks like during interface. So here are the parts. We have here centrioles, 2 pairs. We also have chromatin. Chromatin, yan yung chromosome actually kapag nag-coil. And it is located in the nucleus. We have the nucleolus that's found inside the nucleus. We have the nuclear envelope, and we have the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. Before interphase ends, the chromatin in the nucleus has condensed into chromosomes. Pag sinabi natin chromatin, they are thread-like structure. Parang mga sinulid sa loob ng nucleus. Pero later on, bago matapos ang interphase, magko-coil sila. Magko-condense at magiging shorter in appearance, also thicker, and that is now your chromosome. Alright, another. The interphase is commonly referred to as the resting phase. Alright, so why resting? Because the cell just continues with its activities. Wala masyadong ginagawa kundi ang magpalaki at mag-prepare for cell division. And this is the period before one cell division and after another. During this stage, DNA refers to deoxyribonucleic acid, and it contains the traits that you get from your parents. Thus, the chromosome is replicated during interphase. And anong phase ng interphase or anong part ng interphase nagkakaroon ng DNA replication? Correct. During the S phase or the synthesis phase. So, ayan. So, si chromatid, pag i-drawing natin, ganito yung itsura niya. Dun sa gitna, para lang siyang LEC. And then, sa gitnang part, yung bilog dyan na black, it's known as the centromere. So, this is unduplicated. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa nagagawa ng kopya. Kapag nagawa na ng kopya si chromatid, look at the diagram, it becomes a duplicated chromosome. Tatawagin na natin siya ngayong sister chromatid, and they share centromere. Okay? So, this sister chromatid is also your chromosome. So, medyo nakakalito lang yung mga terms, but they basically mean the same. Okay, so I have here a GIF. Kindly see what's happening. From one cell, it becomes two cells. So, kung mapapansin nyo rin, yung nucleus nahati, and then yung cytoplasm nag-undergo din in division para makapag-produce ng dalawang cells. And this process is actually mitosis. So, mitosis is a type of cell reproduction in which a cell divides into two genetically identical diploid daughter cells. So, yung isang cell mag-undergo ng division, isang beses lang siyang magde-divide para makapag-produce ng dalawang cells. And yung dalawang cells na yon ay exact copy of each other. Another, as mentioned a while ago, mitosis occurs in body cells or somatic cells. So, kapag nasugatan ka, mag-undergo lang ng mitosis para ma-replace yung mga nasirang cells. Then, the purpose is for growth and replacement of worn-out cells. I think I've mentioned that. So, mitosis is divided into 4 stages. We have prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, or simply PMAT. So, let's see what happens. Oh, before that, there is what we call cytokinesis, and it is the process of the actual separation of the cytoplasm at the end of mitosis. So, kapag mitosis pa lang, hindi pa talaga nag-separate yung dalawang cells. Okay? So, kapag nag-cytokinesis na, ayun na, you would visibly see two cells. Alright, so the phases of mitosis are the following. Kindly look into the diagram. This one is prophase, and what happens here? Ito yung sinasabi ko. Chromosomes appear condensed. Kanina, parang mga sinusinulid lang. But ngayon, medyo mas makakapal na sila at saka mas mataba, and they are more visible. Then the nuclear envelope is not apparent. Yung nuclear envelope, yung nakapalibot or covering ng nucleus, ay unti-unti na siyang mawawala during prophase. Next up, in metaphase, the chromosomes line up at the center. Okay? Yun lang ang tatandaan, pinaka-importante sa metaphase. Then, what happened? Kanina, nasa gitna sila, and now they are being pulled towards the end. So, this is now called anaphase, in which the chromatids of each chromosome have separated and are moving towards the pole. Then we have here telophase, in which the chromosomes are at the poles and becoming more diffuse. Tapos medyo, ayan na, bumabalik na ulit yung nuclear envelope. Nagiging visible na. The cytoplasm is starting to divide. Ayan yung cytoplasm. Tignan nyo. Nagkakaroon dyan ng cleavage. And finally, after cytokinesis, cytoplasm would be split into two, and now you have two daughter cells. And that is mitosis. If you are still confused, I have here an animated illustration of mitosis, and this is the source. You could check it out. Okay. So metaphase, anaphase, telophase, okay, ayan, bumabalik na yung mga chromatin dyan, and cytokinesis would result into the formation of two daughter cells. Ayan. So let's see it one more time. Prophase, chromatin, naging chromosomes. Tapos may mga centrioles ka. When we say pro-metaphase, that is just the end of prophase. Tapos metaphase, lining up of chromosomes or sister chromatids towards the equatorial plate. Anaphase, separation of sister chromatids. Then telophase, they are now at the end or at the poles. Then nagre-reform na ulit yung nuclear envelope, linking chromatin na ulit yung mga chromosomes, and cytokinesis would result to the formation of two daughter cells. Okay. Next, meiosis. This is another type of cell division in which the chromosome number is reduced to half or haploid. Sorry for that. Diba? Nalito na sa half at saka sa haploid. Alright. And meiosis happens only in sex cells or gametes. Tapos, meiosis is important because it produces genetic variation by the way of the process of recombination. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung meiosis ang dahilan kung bakit tayo ay magkakaiba-iba. Okay? Later on, you would get to know more about meiosis. So, ano yung recombination? So, ibig sabihin ng recombination, halimbawa, yung katangian ng nanay at saka yung katangian ng tatay ay napunta sa anak. Okay? So, pwedeng yung galing ng tatay napunta sa anak, tapos yung tangkad ng nanay napunta sa anak. Yun yung recombination. Then, during fertilization, the egg and the sperm, both haploid. Tandaan ha, si egg cell at saka si sperm cell ay haploid. So, for human beings, haploid meaning to say, meron lang silang 23 chromosomes. Si egg cell has 23, si sperm cell has 23 chromosomes only. So, what will happen? This egg and sperm would unite. Magsasama sila. So, 23 plus 23 would give you 46 or the diploid number. Okay, so one set of chromosome comes from the female parent and the other set from the male parent. Phases of meiosis. So, meiosis 1. Meiosis kasi, it involves two division. Dalawang beses magdi-divide yung cell. Kaya, the first division is known as meiosis 1 and the second division is known as meiosis 2. So, in meiosis 1, lalagyan nyo lang ng 1 sa bawat phase niya. So, we have prophase 1. The most important thing that happens in prophase 1 is there is pairing of homologous chromosomes. So, when we say homologous chromosomes, these are chromosomes that are exactly alike. Okay? And also, it is in prophase 1 where crossing over happens. Pag sinabi natin crossing over, yung trait ng isang chromosome na nasa isang chromosome ay pwedeng mapunta sa kabilang chromosome. Therefore, ang result is hindi na sila eksakto parehas na chromosomes. Next, for metaphase 1, so ganun ulit, tandaan pag metaphase, there is lining up at the center. Then for anaphase 1, homologs are pulled apart and move toward the opposite pole. So ganun pa rin. Then, telophase 1, chromosomes arrive at the opposite poles and then the nuclear membrane reappears and chromosomes decondense. And again, magkakaroon ng cytokinesis and it would form two diploid daughter cells. Diploid pa rin yung daughter cells after meiosis 1. So this is the first division. Pag meiosis, dalawang division, therefore, yung dalawang daughter cells na yan ay mag-divide pa ulit. So, what would happen? In prophase 2, chromosome condenses, the nuclear envelope breaks down, tapos yung mga centrosomes mag-move apart, yung spindle or yung mga parang mga lines dyan mag-form din. Then, pag metaphase na, the chromosome again would line up individually along the metaphase plate. Then, the sister chromatids separate and are pulled towards the poles of the cell. Tapos, pag telophase 2 na, ganun ulit. Nuclear membranes form around each set of chromosomes and the chromosomes decondense. Tapos, mag-undergo ulit ng cytokinesis so that 4 daughter cells are produced. But remember, these 4 daughter cells are haploid in number. Kakalahati lang sila ng chromosome number. So, for tao, the diploid number is 46 and the haploid number is 23. So, if you would like to know more about meiosis, I have here a link on the video, so I will just be putting it on the description of this YouTube video of mine. You could go check it out later. This animation is actually very nice. It's about 5 minutes. Alright? Okay, so let's compare mitosis and meiosis. Ano bang pagkakatulad or ano yung pagkakaiba nila? Okay, so when we say mitosis, isang division lang. One cell, magpo-produce ng or magiging dalawang cells. And when we say meiosis, dalawang beses magdi-divide yung isang cell. So therefore, kung meron kang isang cell, at the end of meiosis, you would have 4 daughter cells. Next, in mitosis, there is no pairing of homologous chromosomes. Walang pairing. However, in meiosis, there is pairing of homologous chromosomes. Na-mention ko na kanina what homologous chromosomes are. Then, for mitosis, no crossing over. However, in meiosis, there is crossing over. Please take note of the importance of crossing over. Pag sinabi kasi natin crossing over, yung mga traits or DNA na dala-dala ng mga chromosome ay pwedeng lipat sa kapartner niyang chromosome. Yun yung tinatawag natin crossing over or recombination, and that will result to genetic diversity. Yun yung reason kung bakit tayo ay magkakaiba-iba. And for mitosis, ilan ang produce na cells? Dalawa. And these cells are diploid or with complete set of chromosomes, 46 kapag tao. In meiosis, 4 haploid cells are produced. Haploid, pag sa tao, 23 chromosomes. Then, in mitosis, this is very important, daughter cells are identically similar to the parent cell. Okay? So, exactly magkatulad yung cells na produce. And in meiosis, daughter cells are genetically different. And what is the reason bakit hindi eksakto magkatulad yung original cell doon sa daughter cells? Yes, the answer is because of crossing over or recombination. And finally, mitosis would produce cells for growth and repair. Okay, so para sa body cells, and meiosis would